Hey, welcome. Do you ever feel like your English is pretty good, maybe even great, but there are still those little moments where you're not 100% sure you've got it right? Well, today, we're going to close that gap. We are diving into mastering the perfect system of tenses, that final crucial polish that takes your English from just fluent to genuinely accurate.
So let me just ask you straight up. You're speaking confidently, you're understanding pretty much everything, but then you hit a pause. You start wondering, should I have said I have done, or was it just I did? If that sounds at all familiar, you are absolutely not alone. In fact, it's a classic sign that you're at a really advanced level of learning.
What's happening is you've probably hit what's known as the C1 fluency plateau. It's that spot where your ability to speak fluently has kind of raced ahead of your grammatical precision. But here's the good news. It is a plateau. You can totally break through. And right now, we're going to give you the tools and the master key to do exactly that.
Okay, so let's get right into it. We're going to start with the #1 area of confusion, the tenses that build a bridge between something that happened in the past and what's happening right now. This, my friends, is where the real magic begins. Just look at these two sentences. On one hand, I lived there for 10 years. That's the past simple. It's done. The period is over. The door on that part of your life is closed. It's a finished story. But then you have, I have lived here for 10 years. See, that's totally different. The present perfect is, at its heart, a present tense. It means I still live here now. That connection to now is everything. Now here's a really cool little trick, a mental shortcut you can use. It's called the and still test. If you can tack on the words and still to the end of your sentence and it makes perfect sense, you almost certainly need the present perfect. Try it. She has worked here for 10 years and still does. See? It works. It's such a quick way to check if your intuition is on the right track.
Okay, so this is a classic mistake we see all the time with advanced learners. The person who said this is kind of treating have become like it's just a fancier, more formal way of saying became. They're thinking of it as a past tense, but like we just said, it's not. It's all about that connection to now, and this sentence structure completely breaks that connection.
And here's the polished version. The key here is have been. We use it because it's describing a state, a condition that is still true today. And then you see that little word, since. That's the anchor. It pins that past event, leaving university, directly to the present moment. It creates that open, continuous timeline.
This brings us to another really important point, the difference between state verbs and action verbs. You know, state verbs, like know, believe, or find in this example, they describe a condition, right? Not a process. You can't really watch someone in the middle of finding computers difficult. It just is. And because of that, these verbs really don't like the continuous ing form. That's why I haven't found sounds right, but I haven't been finding just feels kind of weird and unnatural.
All right, now let's level up. We're going to see how this same basic idea builds into much more sophisticated structures. We're about to do a little grammatical time travel, looking back at events from different points in time. This is the stuff that gives C1 English its real expressive power. So, take a look at this sentence. She appears to have left. You know, it seems simple enough on the surface, but there are actually two different moments in time packed into those 5 little words. It's a bit of a puzzle. So let's really think about it for a second. What happened first? Does she appear and then she leaves? Or did she leave first and it's only now that we're noticing that she's gone? The grammar itself actually holds the secret. And here's the answer. It's called the perfect infinitive, to have left. Use this amazing structure when the action of that infinitive, the leaving, happened before the action of the main verb, the appearing. So she left first, and now it appears she's gone. It's a super elegant way to layer time inside a single sentence. Okay, get ready for one of the most reliable little shortcuts in all of English grammar. I'm serious. If you see the word by followed by a time in the future, like by next year or by Tuesday, your brain should light up and scream, future perfect. That word by is a signal. It's setting a deadline, a point in the future from which you are going to be looking back. And this visual just illustrates it perfectly. Imagine we are literally standing in the future, at that by next year point on the timeline. We're looking back at an action that is now finished and in the past relative to that point. It's not about what's happening in that future moment, it's about what will have already happened before then.
So even within the future perfect, you have a subtle choice to make. Do you want to emphasize the result or the duration? If you want to focus on the completed action, the result, you use the simple form, I will have finished my degree. It's done. But if you want to emphasize how long that activity was going on, you use the continuous form. I will have been living here for 10 years. It's all about what you want to highlight.
Okay, it's time to tie all of this together. We've looked at the present, we've looked at infinitives, we've looked at the future. And they might seem like a bunch of separate, random rules, but they are not. They are all part of one single, beautiful, unified system. And we're about to give you the master key that unlocks the whole thing.
Let's think of it this way. Your basic tenses, past, present, future, that's kind of like Newtonian physics. It works just fine for most everyday situations. But the perfect system, that's like Einstein's view of the universe. It's not just about a single point in time. It's about the relationship between different points in time. And that requires a little shift in how you see things.
And this right here, this is that shift. This is the big idea. The perfect system is not a big list of rules to memorize. It is one single core principle. You are using a verb to create a bridge between 2 points in time. That's it. You're viewing one event from the vantage point of another one. Whether it's past to present, present to future, or even earlier past to later past, the underlying logic is always the same.
So what does this mean for you, practically? Well, think of this as your new mental checklist. The next time you're speaking or writing and you pause, just quickly run through these questions. Do you see by plus a future time? Boom, perfect form. Are you talking about a state or an action? That tells you simple or continuous. Does the infinitive part happen first? That's your signal for a perfect infinitive. This is your decision framework for getting it right every time.
And finally, before we wrap up, here is a fantastic pro tip that will make you sound incredibly polished. Instead of just saying, I still haven't done it, try using the more formal and impressive phrase, I have yet to do it. The committee has yet to announce its decision. It is such a small tweak, but it's a true hallmark of advanced C1 level English. So, there you have it. The perfect system isn't some scary set of confusing rules. It's really just about understanding one powerful idea, connecting 2 points in time. You now have the master key to that entire system. So the only question left is, what are you going to unlock with it?